Hey everybody, welcome back. It's hot as hell. It's like 95 or something. It's humid. It's Father's Day weekend. And I'm out here working on this crap. So, let's see what crap I'm working on. Hey, it's a big 6.2 liter Ford. So this is a 2016 F250. And hit a deer. So we're going to replace that condenser. I'm actually not replacing the condenser because of the deer hit. It actually didn't get hurt from that, but I'm putting a new AC compressor in it, which is right down there. So I'm going to put a new condenser in it because I happen to have one. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll hook it up to a little snappy machine and we'll evac it and do all that fun stuff also. I already evac'd it, so I don't have to do that right now, but port 1, port 2 up there. Vac it down however you have the ability to, and I'm going to start by pulling this grill off, and you'll notice it's zip tied together. Again, deer hit, but you got a clip right there, 10 millimeter right there, clip there, and a clip there. And then there's some others along the bottom, but I don't have any of those, so I can't help you on how to get that off down there. I only have the ones on the front, or on the top, because again, deer hit, took the others out. So use your imagination and get the grill off. I'm going to go ahead and pull mine off, and I'll be back. You get that off, and it opens you up to the condenser. I think that's an 8mm there, and an 8mm there. And you'll have a 13 and a 13. Again, do not undo those unless you have evac the system. Okay, get those out, and it just kind of sits into that one and to that one. I was able just to tilt it up and swing it down basically, and I pulled it right out right here, but you can put it down through the bottom. Like this. So that's what I did. So here's the new compressor. Part number if you need it. So this is a remanufactured unit. I bought it off of Amazon, I think, and that's why it has those guys on there. So in this situation, you clip off your old connector and you just connect it to that. So it looks like there is 3 bolts in this bad boy. Let's get down there and check it out. So here's the new condenser and the part number. Figure I might as well put this in before we start the compressor. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap that and be right back. So whenever you do this, always replace your seals. Like you can tell, mine are garbage, so I'm going to put them in there, but I'm going to have to go get new ones because for some stupid ass reason, pull that plug out. It didn't come with new ones, so I'm going to have to go grab new ones. And I will get you that part number, so just put your lines on after you put your new seals on. Sometimes your studs will come in a bag like mine did. And just put them on there. I'm just doing that to close up the system. I'm gonna run in and I guess I'll get seals for it. So one thing to note when you're doing any service on AC, so like your compressor, you're supposed to pre-charge that with some oil, some PAG 14, I think, 14 or 16. Same with your condenser. You're supposed to put like an ounce or two. Might only be like half an ounce. I'll have to look, but you put that in your condenser and in your compressor. I did not do that. Son of a bitch. Okay, I did not do that on my condenser. So what I will end up doing is I'll put a little funnel down here when I go to fill everything before I put my new seals on, and I'll inject a little bit of PAG oil into this condenser. I'll probably use a syringe like I normally do. And then here you just throw it, put a little bit in one of your orifices here. So that's what we'll do, and I'll show you what that looks like also. Okay, so there it is, right there. One of your bolts is right there. Another one is right there, and then the top one is right up there, right there. And there's your connector. Okay. My fat ass is stuck. Your tensioner is right there, so you'll put a, looks like a 1/2 inch breaker bar in there, and then you'll be able to pull that belt off around that feller, and that's just all rusty and crap, and it's probably easiest to get your tensioner from up here, and maybe those AC line bolts from up here also. I don't know, I'm going to try it from up here. Probably get that upper bolt from up here too. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that bolt off the pulley and get working on getting this out. My AC compressor did not come with a seal set either, so yeah, I'm going to have to deal with that. But anyway, let's get back to this compressor. Okay, so now I got to undo the line. The 13mm nuts on the lines. So I'm going to do that from up top here, and I'll be right back. Okay, and there they're both off. So I'm going to get it through this area right where my breaker bar is. And she's bad. It's all rusty and it's in rough shape. It definitely works better if you have two people, but I did manage to get it out from up top here. I did have to go down below and orient it the way I wanted it, and then I was able to get it. But because of the lack of seals, I'm not going to put the new one in right now. I'm going to go get seals and excuse me. Alright, I'm going to go get seals and then I will get this put in. And I'm going to splice this connector onto that. So stay tuned for that too. Okay, get yourself one of these kits and they will have, and the seals that you need in it. There's a couple different sizes that you'll use, and you'll also use O-rings too. Damn it. And after you drop it, everything's mixed together. So grab your old one, and then you're going to line it up with a new one. And those ones match. So this one can go on this line. And then we'll find an O-ring for that guy. But let's go down to our condenser. Okay, so our top one looks like it uses a similar one. And that's the one that we're going to use. And so I grabbed a random O-ring. As you can see, it's too big, so we pull it off and get a different one. Okay, and that one's tight, so we're good to go on that. One thing you can do to make these slide in a little bit easier, because when you go to put it in, it's going to fight you a little bit. You can actually put some PAG oil on there, and it will slide in a little bit easier. So this is your PAG 46, and it's got UV dye in it. So we're just going to put a little bit on our finger and wipe it around that O-ring. You can also just use normal oil too. It's up to you. And there you go. It's tight all the way on there. And that's what we're going for. So now we're going to do this bottom one the same way we did the top one. Alright, so we're going to take this off of that one and put it on this one. So I'm just gonna snip those wires and connect them onto this one. Alright, we're all connected back together and put on. So we're gonna go ahead and heat shrink that with a torch or a heat gun. Alright, there we go. So now we're gonna go ahead and go back to the truck and come from above and drop her in. So this is where we're going to take our PAG 46 oil and dump about an ounce in here. I'm just going to take a cap off. Maybe. Okay, we dumped about an ounce in there. Put that cap back on there a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and shove it in. Now I went ahead and pulled that one up a little bit too, so it was easier for me to grab a hold and just be able to pull it out when it's, you know, dangling there in a crappy orientation. So we're going to start with it right like that, and from there you'll be able to plug in your harness if you want to, but I am going to start with putting the AC lines in quick. So this is where I have it, and you'll notice these are your two lines that go down there. One's bigger than the other one. And the one closest to the motor is bigger than the bottom one. So again, go ahead and lube those guys up. And I'm just going to use this stuff, and I'll be right back. Alright, I got both of those O-rings lubed up. Let's go ahead and pull that bottom guy and get that smaller one in there. I need both hands, so I'll be right back. Alright, got that one in there. Got some light, so I got that one on. So now we're going to do the other one quick. Okay, I got that in there. So now take your cord or your wire, throw it on there. And then plug it in there. And then you want to plug that one in. Okay. we got it back down in there. So I'm going to go down below and fiddle fart with that. Okay, so from down here we can actually maybe see it up there, and we're going to start with putting that lower bolt in right there, and it just goes up there. And then next we're going to do that one right there. Now we're going to do this top one. I don't like to fight myself, so the bottom ones are not tight all the way. And I don't know if you can see where it goes right on the other side of that connector. So I'm going to put that in and I'll be right back. Fun fact, you got to do the top one first. So that's cool. So I'm going to go down there and pull those lower ones out. Alright, make sure you connect everything, and then let's get that belt back on. We're just going to use that same breaker bar that we had on it and put the belt back on. I didn't take it all the way off, I just took it off the AC compressor. So we're going to do that and call it a day. So like, subscribe, share us, ask any questions you have. Deuces.